Hi, my name is Corey Seifers, and today I want to talk to you all about custom homes and financing, right? The slides you're going to be watching currently is just a very brief rundown of that process. Step one, which is finding a realtor, which is me. Hi. Step two is going to be finding a lender who specializes in financing for this type of product. It's called C2P. We'll talk about that at the end. Step three is to find a builder. I can also help with that, or any realtor that you work with who's familiar can do this. Step four, you need to find land if you don't have land already. And then five, once you've found all that, you close and you begin the build process. I'll just let you sit through this next slide, and let you see just a quick little synopsis of the steps that come. Now that you've seen a very brief breakdown of the process of the build, obviously there's a lot of things going on in the back end that you may not be seeing, such as permitting and zoning and getting water tap and all of these things. Obviously, they obviously play a role into this. But I want to talk to you about construction to perm financing. This is a product offered not by every lender. There are certain lenders that are better than others. But it's essentially two loans in one, and that's why it's called construction to permanent, because during the build process, it's a construction loan, and then once the home is finished, it then transfers into a permanent loan with a fixed rate or adjustable rate mortgage, depending on what you agreed to. So the way that these loans work, and they're very beneficial because during the build process, you're under the construction you're under the construction portion of the loan. And so how that works is you're only paying interest on the amount that is currently being utilized. And I'll give an example. If you did not own land already and you closed on the lot and then you began the build process that same day, and I'm just going to use random numbers, but let's just say your lot was $100,000 and then your build, they get like a 15% draw or whatever is in your contract with the builder, but let's just say 15% for the foundation. They'll get that at closing, and then obviously whoever you bought the land from, they'll get their $100,000. So if you've got $150,000 that's been paid out, you're only paying interest on that $150,000 until the next step of the build process. And that, again, that depends on your builder and how your draw schedule is laid out. That's important because initially it will be relatively low cost because you're only paying interest only on the amount that's being paid out by your lender. Now obviously, and I want to back up to, if the lot that you purchased was say $100,000, but in the grand scheme of things you put $100,000 down for the land and the build, you won't actually be paying any interest on the $100,000, but you will be paying the interest on the 15% that's paid out, because it's only what the lender is lending currently. That's what the money being paid interest on, that's all you're paying. And those are paid in draws, and they'll have different phases, usually with the foundation, framing, framing, dried in maybe. You might have another one once the drywall's complete, just certain phases. And then once the home is the final grade and everything and it's complete, you got the CO, they'll have the final draw. But again, this depends on your lender and your builder and what you've agreed upon with your builder. So there are pros and cons. Obviously, you need to have better credit than what you might normally need for just a typical conventional or FHA loan. You're likely going to need more money down. You also need to keep in mind that if you go over what your build price, what you thought it was going to be, because you'll have to pay out of pocket. And that also includes site costs. So if you estimated site costs to be lower than what they actually end up being, expect to pay out of pocket. So there are some expenses that you need to make sure that you have the funds, and you need to make all of your decisions up front with the builder. Don't make any changes, because if you make changes, it's going to cost you. And obviously, if you decide to make changes and you have the money to foot it, then fine. Because, you're better off paying the builder a percentage or a number now opposed to making that change in the future, especially if it's structural. You know, like I know, like for when we built, a lot of things that we had the builder do were structural. We weren't worried so much about cosmetic. We kind of went bare bones with our home because we knew that over time, as we're making more money in the future, we can make those updates, such as flooring. We used a rolled laminate in most of our house, so it's just, it looks like LVP, but it is not. And we did that intentionally because we knew, in 5 to 10 years, we'll switch it out with hardwoods. So certain things you don't necessarily have to do now unless you just want to. That's obviously up to you. But yeah, so if you are in the Charlotte area and you are interested in this type of build, I would absolutely love to help. I've done one personally, and I've helped a couple clients with this as well. And if you're anywhere in the country and you would like my help to find a local realtor in general, or also to help you with this, I would absolutely love to help. I can call around and interview people in your area to see who's familiar with this type of transaction and go from there. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for coming to my channel. If you could, please like this video and subscribe if you'd like future videos like this. I'd love to hear your feedback. All right, thanks so much. Y'all have a great day.